Students, apart from effort of personal effort or effort by the society, government agencies and government also do various efforts. Some of the protected area are made by the government, such as national parks, wildlife sanctuaries and biosphere reserves. These are the protected area where whatever wildlife is there, that is protected. Their hunting, poaching, etc. are prohibited. National parks and wildlife sanctuary are smaller area where animals are protected and wildlife are protected. But biosphere reserve is a larger area. That is, larger area in one biosphere may have some national parks and wildlife sanctuaries, such as Panchbadi Biosphere Reserve have Satpura National Park and Bori and Panchbadi wildlife sanctuaries. Two wildlife sanctuaries and one national park is there inside the Panchbadi Biosphere Reserve. So, biosphere reserves are the large area that preserve the biodiversity, that is plants, animals and microorganism biodiversity. I have already explained that biodiversity, whatever variety of animals and plants and microorganisms are present in a particular area, that is called biodiversity. The whole biodiversity is preserved in the biosphere reserves, but in national parks and wildlife, wild animals are protected. The biosphere reserves, there are 12 biosphere reserves in India, and wildlife sanctuary are 492 in India, and national parks are 89 in India. So, national parks are, in national park there is no grazing, cultivation etc. are not allowed. Hunting, poaching etc. are also not allowed. And in wildlife sanctuaries, harvesting of timbers means cutting of trees, and minor forest products are collecting, whatever people collect, tribal people collect minor forest product, that is also not allowed there. So, these are the protected areas where wildlife and animals are protected, biodiversity is protected. The purpose of establishing biosphere reserve is, that is multi-purpose. Multi-purpose means that is for conservation of variety of means of biodiversity, conservation of biodiversity, and to educate, train and create awareness about environmental aspects and eco-friendly living, means that is for the education also, to educate people to create awareness about the environmental aspects and eco-friendly living, means human beings may not disturb the environment, they may not harm to the wildlife, they may not pollute to the environment which is harmful for the ecosystem. Project Tiger was launched in 1972. It was launched in 1973. In some book we will get 1972, but in most of the book 1973 it is given. So, 1973 should be considered correct. The Project Tiger was launched in 1973 to protect the tigers. The purpose of launching this act was to protect to maintain the number of tigers, whatever tiger is an endangered animal, so their number may not decrease, they may increase in number. So, that Project Tiger was launched, keeping in mind so that people may be aware and number of tigers may increase. So, that was success also. One species, that is endemic species. What are endemic species? Endemic species are the species which are found exclusively in a particular area. Naturally they are found in a particular area, but they are not found anywhere else. They are found only in that area. For example, in flora, that is sal and wild mango that is found in Panchmadi Biosphere Reserve. Indian giant squirrel and flying squirrel, they are the fauna, these animals are found only in Biosphere Reserve, Panchmadi Biosphere Reserve. In Panchmadi Biosphere Reserve, they are found exclusively, naturally they are found there only, they are not found anywhere else. So their protection is also necessary, that is because if they will be wiped out from that place, so they may extinct from the earth. Students, IUCN has categorized all the plants and animals in various categories. IUCN, that is International Union of Conservation of Nature and Natural Resources, that is now called, that is the old name of that, now it is called WCU, World Conservation Union, that has categorized the plants and animals in various categories. All that category collectively called threatened species. The first category is endangered species, such as Indian rhinoceros, Asiatic lion, crocodile, blue whale. These are the example of endangered species. Endangered species are the species which are very less in number, and in future they may extinct if their number will decrease like that. So in future they may extinct. They are very near to the extinction. Extinct animals means the animals are plant, whatever are extinct. So the animals are plant what has been wiped out from the earth, they are called extinct species, such as dinosaur, dodo. So these are the extinct species. They are not on the earth now. Earlier they were there, but because of changing in climate, they are extinct. They are wiped out from the earth. So endangered species also may extinct from the earth in future because their number is very less. Next category is vulnerable species. Vulnerable species are the species which number is also less, but not as less as endangered species, but in future they may come in category of endangered species if their number will fall down like that. Example is golden langur, chinkara deer. They are the example of endangered vulnerable species. Next category is rare species. Rare species are also smaller in number, but they are a little more than vulnerable species, but in future they may come in category of vulnerable species or endangered species. Example, golden cat, Indian pied hornbill, crestless Himalayan porcupine, etc. So these are the species which are also less in number. In future, if their number will fall like that, so they may come in category of vulnerable species or endangered species, and at last they may extinct also in future. All these categories are collectively called threatened species. Means threatened species involves endangered species, vulnerable species and rare species. This IUCN, that is now called WCU, that established a book that is called Red Data Book. Red Data Book has information about various types of that have information about various types of threatened species of plants and animals, that have data about that in that, and that is established for the awareness of the people, so that they may know about the condition of the plants and animals, and according to that step may be taken. The first Red Data Book on animals was established in 1991. So Red Data Book have knowledge, means data about the various types of threatened species, means about which animals are in category of endangered species, which are in vulnerable species, which are in rare species. So in that book, about that information is there, and that book is established only for the awareness of the people. Now migration, recycling paper and reforestation we will discuss. Migration is the movement of animals from one place to other place in search of favorable condition. Mostly birds migrate from one place to other place, as in class 7th you may have studied that from polar region whatever birds are there, most of the birds migrate from polar region to other places. For example, Siberian crane migrate from Siberia to India. One more example is there, that is Arctic tern. That is Arctic tern. Arctic tern is a bird that is also called champion of the migration. Champion of migration. That migrate from one pole of the earth to the other pole. The native place of it is Arctic region, and when winter season comes here and chilling temperature is there, then that means breed here and that move to the Antarctic region and again come back to the Arctic region. Means it migrate from one pole to other pole. Means it covers approximately 35,000 kilometers per year. That is the longest distance for any bird, for any living creature for the migration. So that's why that is called champion of the migration, and that covers 35,000 kilometers per year. So birds migrate from their native place to other place either in search of favorable condition. If adverse condition is there, very chilling temperature is there, then they migrate from that place to other place. Or in search of some of the animals migrate for breeding, some of the animals migrate for searching food. So migration is because of either for favorable condition, for searching favorable condition, or for food, or for breeding purpose. Recycling paper, why recycling paper is necessary? That is because paper is made from the wood pulp, and wood pulp is obtained from wood of the trees. That is made from the wood pulp. Certainly, for making paper, trees had to cut approx 70 full-grown trees. 70 full-grown trees are cut for making 1 ton of paper. 17 full-grown trees are cut for making 1 ton of paper. So, whatever used paper is there, if that will be recycled, then the number of cutting of trees will be reduced, and whatever making paper, a lot of water is also required, a lot of energy also is used. So that will reduce the consumption of energy, that will reduce the consumption of water, and especially that will reduce the cutting of trees, number of cutting of trees. That's why recycling of paper is necessary, and that is done. That should be promoted. Means recycling of paper saves trees and save the forest or the center of wildlife. So recycling of paper is also helpful in conservation of forest and wildlife. So recycling of paper must be done, although whatever paper will be obtained after recycling, that will not be very clean. That may not be used for fair work, but that can be used for rough work or for packaging purposes. So recycling paper is necessary for the conservation of forest and wildlife. Reforestation. What is reforestation? Reforestation is planting again new trees at the place of forest destroyed. Deforestation may be naturally, that may be naturally if we do plant harvesting, as I have told you in earlier video, that if we are cutting the trees in between, so whatever leftover trees will be there, there will be a fruits and seeds that will fall down and that will germinate there, and naturally if it is left undisturbed, then that will revive naturally, or that may be planted by people. If forest has been destroyed, that may be planted by people. So that is reforestation to maintain the forest area. Reforestation is also a major for the conservation of forest and wildlife. So this much was there in this chapter. Thank you.